Hey guys, thanks for joining my vlog for today. Um, this vlog is a little different. And from probably what you've seen all today. But I want to talk about dating in your 30s. So, dating in my 30s has been horrible, to say the least. Uh, Dating in your 30s is like you can either date the daddy or you can date the son. Both of them are likely to be knuckleheads. Dating in my 30s have been meeting people who don't have any children, who don't want to date women with children, meeting guys who do have children and they got like 5, 6 children. I'm like, I have 2 children. Now we got 7, 8 children. How is that going to work? It's a lot. Uh, Dating in your 30s is ghetto. I was in here talking to a good friend of mine, and we were talking about my most recent ex that I was dating. We weren't together, boyfriend and girlfriend, anything like that, but we were seeing each other, and I was working towards a relationship. And I guess he was as well, not too sure, whatever the case may be. But, ultimately, he was a decent guy. We just weren't matchmates. Okay, and that's cool. But in your 30s, I think that people look for this level of perfection in their partner that you're never going to find. Like in your 30s, in this day and age, like seriously, the majority of the guys are freaking alcoholics. And or, they just mentally messed up, trauma bonded, with their exes, and or have childhood trauma, which is why they by themselves, mental health issues, all types of stuff. And nothing against mental health issues. I deal with my own anxiety and depression. But I find that, like, in your 30s, you find someone and just trying to date. We've been through a lot of experiences who molded us into the people that we are today. So we're a lot different. And it's hard to match with people who have life experiences. But on top of the life experiences, when you're in your 30s, you've been around the block. And you know what you want in the bedroom. You know what I'm saying? You got that one person that you be like, I never forget Ricky. Or you be like, I never forget this person. Everybody has them. Guy or girl, you have that one person that you never forget. And it could be for a good thing. Oh, he had a big one. She had a good one. This one had a little one. This one was going right only. This one was going up. This one was going down. This one ain't look right. All types of stuff. You just run into some odd things. And recently, I think that I ran into a intersex person. I have no issue with anyone who is intersex. I tell people all the time, I be like, if I could have the best of both worlds and I could date a trans person who is as beautiful as I, nice big titties and a big dick, I would do it any day of the week. Don't judge me. This is a safe place. But I would do it. I would try it out. And I think I would like it because I do like women as well. Just saying. However, I had never dated someone who was intersex. As a child, I thought people who were intersex had, like, on one side it was a penis, on the other side it was a vagina. No. Intersex people are so custom, like so unique in how it develops that it could be minor, where the labia is always near the top, or it could be like very prominent, where it's an entire vagina and or a labia towards the base of the penis. I had to do my research to find out because he had never told me that he was intersex. Like when I looked at it, I was like, this is different. I'm like, I've been around the block. But this one is different. It looks different. I thought initially that this man had a flesh-eating disease on his penis. And I'm like, no names given, but we called him Mermaid Man, because we both had mermaid parts. You know, like, and this is no shame to him, but we did. And I thought that this man had a flesh-eating disease on his penile. Now, my 30s and my experiences with men have made me be like, at this point, I'm just about going to get what I'm going to get. And I like them. I really, really do. But at what point do I draw the line and be like, wait a minute, pause. I'm not going to act like you're perfect, or I'm not going to act like this is something that I can't ask you about. And so that's what I found myself in a position of, just not even asking and doing my own research. Intersex comes again in like its own unique way. And the guy whom I was dating with, Mermaid Man, his was like, it was the penile where it would typically be here. It wasn't. It was on the back and in the middle. Like, but it was like a labia. Like, it was like flesh. Like, if you took and did like this to my mermaid lady parts. And so, I liked him all the same. But again, with dating in your 30s, it's like I'm learning that my list is opening up to what I can tolerate, what I want to experience, what I don't mind, what I'm open-minded to experiencing. And so, I think that we as people are all different. And you just really got to just be honest with your partner and be like, hey, this is what's going on with me. They say that when you date a woman and she doesn't have any kids and she's in her 30 and her 40, you got to check her birth certificate. Well, after this experience, I feel like if you meet a guy, he's in his 30s and 40s, you got to check his too. Like, he may have a penis, but are you intersex? Like, did you take on the majority sex and say, okay, well, I'm going to be male because I look like a male, but I do have a labia. I think it's something to discuss with your partner. And if whoever is willing to accept you for who you are, like, they're going to love you regardless. And that goes to, if it's not even about your reproductive parts, or, if it's just about the things that come with you, like, it's something to be talked about. But when dating him, like, I felt like he was very judgmental of, like, just some of my actions. And when we stopped talking, I was like, I'm upset. And I'm like, well, I'm not hurt, because it wasn't like, oh, this man got the motion ocean. No, like, I kind of complained about that a lot. But I think it was more of like the anger of, how dare you? And I never even made you feel uncomfortable with the fact that we both have lady parts. It was like the unspoken elephant in the room. And it kind of spoke volumes on why he was still single, and or why he hadn't had like real long-term relationships and stuff. And I'm like, yikes. I don't know. What are the boundaries of what you're willing to accept if you are in your 30s and watching this? If you're single in your 30s, male or female, what are the boundaries that you're willing to accept? Are you willing to accept someone who's intersex if they're open and honest with you? Or is that just like, I'm not going to accept it at all? Or am I just extremely curious and open-minded? I don't know. Let me know.